As we're learning, an investigation is underway into a shooting involving a federal agent during an immigration enforcement operation. This all taking place in Los Angeles County. This happened around 7:20 a.m. in the Willowbrook area. That's according to the Sheriff's Department. Officials told Fox 11 a DHS task force was conducting an operation in pursuit of a car that ended up crashing. And we can see just moments ago there that what is most likely that car. And when agents approached that car to detain the suspects, shots were fired and the suspect was not hit. So, okay, we're getting a better look here now of that car as the camera is panning around. This is coming from Sky Fox. We also do have another angle that I'll show you here in just a brief moment, but roads are blocked in the area of Mona Boulevard and 126th Street, and traffic is being diverted as this investigation continues. And here's another look that we do have coming in here to our newsroom as well. Some more information. We do know the shooting involved personnel from U.S. Customs and Border Protection who were conducting a targeted enforcement operation. Following the discharge of weapons, a white sedan was found at the scene with a busted windshield, front end damage, and deployed airbags, suggesting a collision or forced stop took place. While federal involvement has been confirmed, authorities have not yet released the specific details of what led to the shooting or how many rounds were fired. It remains unclear if the suspects were armed or if the damage to the white sedan was a result of the enforcement tactic or an attempted flight. Federal agencies have not yet identified the suspects or the specific nature of the immigration charges they were facing. So once again, here's another live look that we do have coming in. This investigation has been handed over now to federal authorities who will conduct an internal review of the discharge of service weapons. Further details are expected to be released by U.S. Customs and Border Protection or the Department of Homeland Security as the booking process for the suspects is completed. So if you are just tuning in, we're learning this breaking news that this investigation now underway into a shooting involving a federal agent during an immigration enforcement operation. Once again, this all taking place in Los Angeles County. This happened just a bit earlier this morning as we are getting these two live feeds that are coming into our newsroom here.
Dang, man.
It's getting wicked out here.
It's getting dangerous.
I don't understand why people keep messing with armed law enforcement thinking it's going to go in their favor. Like, if someone has a gun, why would you go and put yourself in harm's way where they could potentially be justified in shooting you?
I guess they just want to have that moment, man. They want their celebration moment.
I just don't know. I guess people really just do need something bigger than themselves to be involved in, because that's not even human instinct to go and do that. That's not.
Well, you got to also look at it. The media is just painting these guys as bad guys, and
they're making the other people seem like heroes, the ones who are stopping them. So, yeah, I mean, that's definitely part of it. The media is definitely part of it. I mean, it's just crazy to me that Trump did not invent ICE. ICE has been here forever, and we've never seen this, only because it's literally because Trump is in office, and the people, I guess the higher up elites just hate him so much that think about the last like 2 years of just politics with him getting shot at, the charges, and then now all this. It's just like America has been crazy. Lots of things have happened that you wouldn't really think typically would happen in America.
No, that's facts.
El Salvador, who's involved in a human smuggling operation, has 2 prior arrests for inflicting injury on a spouse or cohabitant. An immigration judge issued him a final order of removal back in 2019, Paul. And it goes on to read this. This is a statement provided to us by Tricia McLaughlin from DHS. In a dangerous attempt to evade arrest, this criminal illegal alien weaponized his vehicle and rammed law enforcement. Fearing for his life and safety, an agent fired defensive shots. The criminal illegal alien was not hit and attempted to flee on foot. He was successfully apprehended by law enforcement. The illegal alien was not injured, but a CBP officer was injured. These dangerous attempts to evade arrest have surged since sanctuary politicians, including Governor Newsom, have encouraged illegal aliens to evade arrest and provided guides advising illegal aliens how to recognize ICE, block entry, and defy arrest. As we well know, our officers are now facing a $3,200.
So a judge in 2019 ordered him to be gone. He was doing human trafficking. So this isn't a case of the protesters. This is a case of them trying to get someone in Iran. But that's also dangerous. So, I mean, this whole situation is dangerous. That's why Tom Homan, I think he had like the best plan for it. Just if you get arrested for human trafficking, then just deport that person. And then you don't have to go through this process.
You know what's crazy about Tom Homan? You know, during the Barack Obama era, they gave him a Medal of Honor for doing the ICE raids.
No
That's
way.
insanity.
Yes.
No way, but we got to pull that up right now, bro.
You don't believe that?
No way.
Look it up, bro.
Look at that. President Obama honored Tom Homan with the 2015 Presidential Rank Award for his work leading ICE enforcement and removal operations. 3 years later, Schumer called him unqualified to be director of ICE in an April 2018 letter to the Secretary of DHS.
Wow. So the same man who is doing the same thing now, y'all are protesting, but your king, Obama, gave him an award for this and deported more successfully. Wow. The delusion, man. The delusion is high. Clearly, America is brainwashed. Not all of America, because we saw how the election went, but a lot of America. And I think it's the media and just the higher ups what they want you to believe, because we just saw Tom Homan got an award for deporting more people than are being deported now under Obama.
It's
Obama
crazy.
himself put the medal around his neck. And y'all are mad at Trump. Come on, bro. Keep it real.
I think the ICE protests are all about hating Trump rather than what exactly is going on.
Mr. President,
and we're going to be going in quiet. You're really obnoxious.
I'm not obnoxious, but I'm trying to ask you, what about your plans
You are
for
really
Memphis?
obnoxious.
I'm not obnoxious, but I
Okay.
am asking, what are your
Okay.
plans for Memphis? Many people want
I'm not going to
know
talk
what
to
the
you
numbers are
until
gonna
I
be by.
call on you.
What are your plans for
So,
Memphis?
who
Mr.
else? Yeah,
President?
go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to settle this free speech question, because you've said that you restored free speech in America.
Yeah.
Is that free speech including for people who are harshly critical of you, for your political opponents, for people who say things you don't
I've
like?
become immune
treat
to
you
it.
unfairly?
I've become immune to it. There's never been a person that's had more unfair publicity than me, and that's why your network paid me $15 million or $16 million, I believe, to be exact, George Slopadopoulos, and that's why CBS paid me a lot of money too. And that's why I sued the New York Times 2 days ago for a lot of money. Because I'm winning. I mean, I'm winning the cases. And the reason I'm winning is because you're guilty, John. You're guilty. ABC is a terrible network, a very unfair network, and you should be ashamed of yourself. NBC is equally bad, honest. And so you can't sit back and just say, oh, well, what do you think? You know, like you're some wonderful person. You're not a wonderful person. Frankly, you're a terrible reporter. You know it, and so do I. CBS paid me a lot of money, too. And that's why I sued the New York Times 2 days ago for a lot of money. Because I'm winning. I mean, I'm winning the cases. And the reason I'm winning is because you're guilty, John. You're guilty. ABC is a terrible network, a very unfair network, and you should be ashamed of yourself. NBC is equally bad. I don't know who's worse. I think they're equally bad. And, you know, for you to stand there and act so innocent and ask me a question like that. But look, you paid a big price because you were dishonest, John. The reason I won that lawsuit was because you were dishonest. You were proven to be dishonest. And so you can't sit back and just say, oh, well, what do you think? You know, like you're some wonderful person. You're not a wonderful person. Frankly, you're a terrible reporter. You know it, and so do I. Okay.
Mr. President, can you talk about why the Justice Department scrubbed the site?
Here's what we're going to do.
Well, Trump ain't playing games no more, and we not playing games no more.
Facts.
Yeah, and after that Kamala interview, remember they butchered that so crazy and just made their own little completely different interview out of it. You never know who's telling the truth and who's really lying. But Trump gonna get down to the bottom of it, and that's why we voted for the man.
I mean, just seeing like over the years, like maybe like 2-3 years, we've been watching and covering this stuff. Like I never knew the government was this corrupt.
Pooh, me either, bro.
It looks pretty darn bad, guys. Like
Bad on both sides, too.
I see why Richmond and Richmond made the banger. I think about that all the time.
Richmond, North of Richmond.
Like literally, guys,
good
these
song.
politicians are taking tax dollars and they're taking this information and all the information they use, putting it in the stock market. They taking tax dollars. They want to raise and what good has it had for the American people?
They push their own agendas, and whatever will help them and line their pockets is what they're gonna do.
Facts.
It's pretty bad, man. I mean, they will actually go to war. I didn't think
yeah.
it was possible.
Oh, yeah.
They will go to war if they have to push their agenda.
Facts.
They will kill Americans if they have to. It's crazy, guys. But this right here is absolutely crazy, guys. Listen to Tim Burchett. This is one of my favorite guys.
Yeah.
You could just tell he's real.
You know, it's kind of funny when you deal with this stuff. You And I talked to the ethics people the other day. Everybody knows I make these crazy skateboards, and people asking, hey, sell me a skateboard. So I said, well, let me go check it out with ethics. I literally got to get attorneys involved to sell a dadgum skateboard. But if I want to do insider stock trading, just get elected to Congress, really. I mean, let's just be honest. Look, everybody ought to do like I do. Get their $12,000 portfolio in a mutual fund. Let my buddy Tommy Seiler handle it. He does pretty well. Although my daughter's going to school now, so I'll be cashing that out very soon. But look, we're public servants. We're stewards of the community. Nobody is above the law. You hear that? It's kind of become cliche up here. But for years, members of Congress, we know they've gotten rich using hardworking American taxpayers' money. Members sit on committees. We attend private meetings where we gain privileged information about companies. Congress appropriates money to economic sectors that may overlap with members' own portfolios. I call it the war pimps a lot. I worry about us voting on wars that we're going to send our kids off to that we couldn't even find on a dadgum globe, and members haven't owned stock in those things. The American taxpayer always gets the short end of the stick, and Congress seems to profit at their expense. This body has been enriching itself on the taxpayer's dime, and dadgummit, it's got to stop. The president's already said he would sign a bill banning stock trading for members of Congress if passed. I think the real test is going to be whether Congress has the guts to stand up and do what's right. And I'm proud of all these people up here. I don't agree with them, some of these people, on anything. If Cortez told me the sun was coming up tomorrow, I'd go out and check it out.
Yeah, guys.
Tim is a real one.
I like Tim. Yeah, but he's right. They're cheating. Why are these Congress people having net worths of millions of dollars? They're supposed to be public servants. You have a set salary, and they're all millionaires.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
But as the common person, it's really hard to sit here and just watch it and think that there's nothing you can do about it. When actually, in all reality, we figured out, guys, that there is something we can do about it. This information that they use is public information. It's just hard to find and gain access to. So our friend Ross Givens has developed a software and a database where they basically have experts go through and sort through this information, and then they give it to us so that we are on the same playing field as them. So if you really are passionate about stocks or anything, just making money for your family, and you feel like this is unfair and your tax dollars are being wasted, guys, we have a free training event on how to do this Thursday, September 25th, guys, at 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be there, and we're going to learn how to get the playing fields even.
Hold on. It's actually like the easiest information you will ever see.
So,
yeah,
like,
they literally tell you where to put the money. They give you the research.
It's broke down. Like, you'll see what everybody's trading. Like, it's actually the most insane information I've ever seen.
I was up $800 in one day yesterday.
Like, yeah, no, it actually gets like that. Like, I done made off just Ruger, guys. The stock, like the gun Ruger. The stock, I didn't even know that was like a thing that people traded. I made like $2,000. Like, it's just like, it's you guys have to check it out. And I mean, it's this Thursday. I mean, hey, be there, guys. I mean, it's been working for a lot of people, guys.
Us included.
All right, guys. So our friend Ross Givens is going to come. He's going to explain how to do this and give you more information about this free training event that we have going on. All right, guys. So we're here with our good friend, Ross Givens. He's a good guy, good Christian conservative man. He's an absolute genius when it comes to everything stocks. He was the vice president of JP Morgan Chase. He knows what he's talking about, guys. He's a really cool dude, and he's here to educate us about how we can make money trading stocks. Ross Givens, man, how's it going?
What's up, guys? Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Good to see you, too, man. Good to see you, too. Okay, so my first question is, I know you have the free training. We're teaching people how to trade stocks and follow insider trading Thursday, the 25th. But actually, like, if we come to the training, is there a way that after that we can really make money? Like, do the people who follow your trades really make money? Or is it more just like a training on how to do it in general?
No, for sure. I mean, listen, the stock market, there's going to be times when you make tons of money. There's going to be times when it's tougher. But listen, I've got members who've made hundreds of thousands of dollars just following our picks. Like the stocks we've recommended just in the last month or so. One's up 60%, one's up 40, one's up 22, 23. So you can absolutely do this. And the cool thing is, like, most of the people that do what we're doing have never traded stocks before. And I think there's so many people that are intimidated by the stock market, think I got to do all that. It's not. It's very straightforward, especially what we're doing. And all we're doing is tracking these insiders. Right. So when we see Nancy Pelosi, when we see a bunch of corporate executives or senators all piling into one of these little $2 stocks, hundreds of thousands of dollars a piece, out of nowhere, all at once for the first time in years, it's like maybe they know something we don't, and we follow along. And we've done that. We've beaten the stock market every single year since 2017. We've never had a losing year. We've had stocks go up as much as 1,900% following this. So is every single stock you buy going to make money? No, absolutely not. But we have made money every single year and done so in excess of the market. So it's absolutely a real opportunity for people to make money. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I see nothing but people complaining about the stock market. But then I see people saying, hey, I'm making a lot of money. Like, what are y'all talking about? So what do you have to say to those people? Like,
yeah, so listen, the market just made new all-time highs, like 4 of them this week. Like, this is one of the strongest bull markets we have ever seen. So there was the stuff with the tariffs with Trump back in February and March, and the market came down real quick. But from April to September, the stock market is up, 30%, 35%? It's been one of the strongest 4-month, 5-month rallies in the history of the stock market. So it is one of the best times people are going to find to invest. Things are rising. It's a bull market. The wind is at your back. And on top of that, I'm not going to get too into the technicals and stuff, but we just had the Federal Reserve cut interest rates. They told us they're going to cut interest rates more. And when rates get cut, stocks go up because let's say you got money in a money market account or in a CD, right, earning 4% or something like, you've seen those offers. When rates go down, suddenly you're only earning 3 or 2 or 1%. Stocks start getting a lot more appealing. And so if you look back over the last 100 years, there's this inverse correlation. When rates come down, stocks go up and vice versa. So this is, in fact, one of the best times to be buying stocks right now.
Wow, that's awesome. No, so how do we know, or how do you guys get the information on what stocks to buy, and how do we know it's going to boom? Like, how do you guys go about that information?
Yeah, so I mean, at the end of the day, you never really know anything, right? But what our strategy, and again, what we've been using for almost a decade, is really straightforward, but it's based in common sense. And like I said, we track these insiders. So, everyone knows Pelosi is a dirty, filthy insider trader. She's made $300 million trading stocks in Congress. She's beat every hedge fund on Wall Street. It is like a 1 in a 10 trillion chance to do that if you're not cheating. And the way she cheats is she knows information before the public and gets in front of it. So she knows that Congress is going to pass a bill that's going to give $50 billion to semiconductor companies. And so she goes in and buys all those stocks before that bill's passed and the stock shoots up. That's what she did with NVIDIA and some others. When it comes to corporate insiders, so CEOs, chief financial officers, board members, that kind of stuff, they have access to better information than you and I, right? What makes stocks go up is, their sales, their profits are way higher than we thought. They sold more cars. They got more subscribers if it's a Netflix. If it's a pharmaceutical, they've got this new drug coming out, right? That's what makes them go up. That's all private information until it's public, but these people know that stuff. And if you run a pharmaceutical company in the middle of drug trials, you know exactly how those drug trials are going. You know when the FDA is going to approve the drug before the market. And that news, when it becomes public, that's what's behind these stocks that shoot up 40 and 100 and 200%. And so if you had access to that information early and you bought the stock, you're going to make a fortune. Well, that's what these guys do, essentially. And what most people don't realize is that all this stuff is public information. You can see not only when Pelosi and members of the Senate and the House are buying stocks, they have to report this stuff. You can also see when these corporate insiders are buying. And not only can you see what stocks they're buying, you can see it almost immediately, like the next day. So all we do is, and this is so stupid, I get credit for this. I'm like, I'm not any smarter than anybody else here. We're just looking for these blatantly obvious examples. So when you've got this little, $3, $5, $10 stock, it's been getting beaten up for years, and then suddenly the CEO buys, the CFO buys, the vice president, the general counsel, half the board, right? They're all piling into the stock. They're putting hundreds of thousands, not millions of dollars in. They're buying for the first time in 4 or 5 or 6 years. Like, they show their hand. It's obvious that they know something we don't. They're taking advantage of it, so we just follow along. Wow. And listen, sometimes it's coincidence. Sometimes they're all buying, and either whatever they're betting on didn't work out, or they just happen to be getting in the stock. Like the last 4, 5, 6 stocks we've recommended, 2 of them are like up or down 1, 2, 3%, haven't done anything. As I said, one of them's up 60, one of them's up 40, one of them's up like 20 or 22%. And so a lot of the times when they're doing that, they're showing their hand. So all we're doing is get in front of the news. We are letting them tip us off. They are feeding us inside tips, essentially.
So like 2 stocks that you put us like on that you sent us that made like huge gains was Domo and Ruger.
No, I'm actually up one right now. I'm up 160% on NTLA, the one you sent out today.
NTLA, yeah.
I'm
up on that. I'm up on, I could check right now actually.
No, but Ruger, I made like $2,000, guys, with like, I think $400.
Well, I love hearing it. I mean, look, NTLA, it's Intellia Therapeutics, right? It's this little off-the-grid biotech stock. And again, if y'all are interested in this, click the link below. Like this training event, y'all have been. It's free. It's online. Anybody can attend. I'll show you how to do all this stuff because I think it's a huge advantage that we have if you're not exploiting it. But yeah, we're not buying look, there's 8,000 plus publicly traded stocks out there. Most people are chasing the same 20, right? Ask any of your friends what they own. Tesla, NVIDIA, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Apple, right? All the usual suspects. The other 7,950, nobody's looking at.
Yeah.
And there's little $2, right?
That was my point. Like when you sent those, like when you lay it out, I'm like, I've never heard of these stocks. And then you put it in and then it just explodes. And I'm like, whoa. Like I've been used to just Tesla and QQQ and stuff like that. And I'm just like, whoa, what is Domo? I've never heard of Domo. And it just made thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the stocks we own right now, Helen of Troy. We bought Tronox Holdings in August. TROX. It was $3 a share. We're up 60%. It's been 6 weeks.
I was up on that one. I hit on that one.
So a lot of these are just smaller. Listen, they're not little penny stocks. We're not like YOLOing on these 2 cent a share lottery tickets, but they're just smaller off the radar companies. They're Amazon when it was a little online bookstore, right? They're Apple when they made a clunky computer out of their garage. They're just in their infancy. And those are the ones that, they're not heavily watched. So there's not a lot of research on them. And the guys that work there, these aren't billionaires. This isn't Elon Musk we're following. These are guys that make 200, 300, 400 grand a year. Suddenly they put $1 million into their company stock. They've worked there for 9 years, never bought before. Now they put, twice their annual salary in. It's like, what do you know, John? What do you know that I don't know? Maybe I should follow along, And so it's really common sense. It's really straightforward. What we do in these training events is show people how to do this. So how to find the online, I'll show you where the online database is, where all these trades are reported. I'll show you what to look for, what to look out for, what our biggest winners have had in common, some things you want to, avoid, things you want to look at. And listen, we've been doing this 7 or 8 years. We learn more every day. But as I said, our track record, I think, speaks for itself. We're up 20-fold in 7.5, 8 years. And we've had a lot of big winners. And so, we just show people what we've done and most take a hold of it pretty quickly.
Wow. Okay. So in summary, for people who, aren't that smart like me, y'all have developed a system to follow and figure out what these insider trades are from CEOs, politicians, and people who have that inside information that you've been talking about.
Yeah, essentially what we're doing is a giant filtering process, right? So these insider trades, they're public, but there's a lot of them. And, somebody may be buying 10 shares that they put in their 401k. Somebody might be exercising an option. There's all these hundreds or thousand trades every day. So we're just filtering it down to the stuff that says, that seems opportunistic. That seems like they know something. And so, we want to find the stocks where a lot of insiders are buying. We want to see that they're making large trades, and that's relative, right? Because for you and me, or, $500,000 may be a big investment. For Elon Musk, that's in his couch cushion, right? So it's got to be relative to them. We want to see buying when it's rare. So there's some stocks will pull up and insiders buy every single month. Well, what do I care they're buying this month? They bought last month and the one before. But if no one's bought in 2 years and 8 of them bought last week, that's significant, right? And so really we're just filtering it down. And then when I present this and show people, it really is obvious. It's just that most people are like, I don't know where to start. I don't know how to find this stuff. I don't know how to take it from 2,000 trades down to the 7 or 8 that I might want to focus on. So that's what we show them. And it's the idea is very straightforward. Most people, they come see this in 5 minutes, it clicks and they're like, oh my God, why didn't I think of this? I didn't know you could do that. So what we handle is the execution and show you how to put the pieces together and find this. But yeah, listen, I think y'all called it a cheat code once. It's one of my favorite analogies. Like it really is. It is, you got guys spending 50 hours a week pouring through financial statements and looking at charts and, trying to outsmart Wall Street. Meanwhile, I'm like, I'll just wait till the guys running the company by.
No, but you make it a cheat code. Like the way you lay it out is so beautiful. Like when I can just simply get on there and be like, well, I gotta do this. It takes me literally 10 minutes. Yeah. Then I look up, I'm up $2,000 on Ruger. I'm like, wow, this is a cheat code.
Today was a good day. I've got a couple stocks from you. The NTLA, Under Armour, EMN, Cool, Resi, NSP. They're all up. These are all stocks I got from you. Every single one of those is up at least 20%.
Yeah,
I'll take the endorsement. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not going to promise it's always going to be that way, but listen, it's with the stock market is like this. When you have a good bull market, anyone who's like totally don't know what I'm talking, a bull market just means stocks are going up, right? When you have a good bull market, you want to take advantage. And bull markets don't last 2 or 3 weeks; they generally last 2 years, 5 years, et cetera. 2008's when the market crashed are not good. COVID, 22, but like good bull markets, the whole index is going to go up. A good year, the market might go up 20, 25%. But in that environment, you're going to have stocks that go up 50 and 100 and 200 and 500%. And if you've got some way to identify those, not all of them, not every single time, but, listen, President Trump, love him or hate him, is the most pro-jobs, pro-business, anti-regulation president in the history of this country. There has never been a president who is better for the stock market. We have interest rates who have finally been cut for the first time in 2025. Jerome Powell, the head of the Fed, said we're going to get probably 2 more cuts, 4 more next year. And again, when rates go down, stocks go up. We have GDP growth at about 3%, which is a little bit above average. Again, good for stocks in the market. And then we have inflation that is coming up. And while inflation, we don't like it when it comes to houses and cars and a dozen eggs, it also makes the prices of stocks rise. So the stage is really set. And so my job at this point for the next 6 months, 12, 18 months is not to just make money, but to go, anyone can make money right now. How do we make a boatload of money? How do we get some absolute home run wins? And you'll find it's addictive. The stocks you bought was I did it. You said it took you 10 minutes. You put a couple grand in, you're up 60% in a month. It's like, oh, wow, this is actually something, So as long as your losers are small and infrequent and your winners, you get a couple of the big 100, 200, 500% ones, which we've done pretty consistently. It can get pretty addictive, but, come to the training, see what we do. I lay everything out. You guys have seen it. You can speak to it.
And the training is free, right? It doesn't cost anything for the training.
What's that?
The training this Thursday, it's free, right?
Yeah, it's totally free. It's this Thursday, the 25th, 3 Eastern. Y'all usually put a link below the videos. Just click that, put in your email. If you put your cell number in, we'll text you a reminder 15 minutes before we get started. And you just click the link, log in. You don't need any experience. You don't need to know anything. I'll lay it all out there for you. It'll take about an hour. And these are interactive sessions. The only downside is we use this software. It's called GoToWebinar. I probably need to get some new software, but it does have a 1,000-person cap. So once 1,000 people come in, it'll lock up. So you probably want to go ahead and sign up early, lock in that spot. But yeah, doesn't cost you anything, no downside. Anyone can come, and I can pretty much guarantee you won't look at stocks the same way again after.
Wow. So free information is basically what y'all are providing.
Free game.
Yeah.
Free money. Who does not want that? Dang.
Wow. Yeah. So the people that's just saying the stock market is not a good time to make money, y'all just saying stuff basically.
Hey, come let us
I don't
prove
know
you
how
wrong.
you could say that. Yeah, it's about as good as it's
People
going
are
to
saying
get.
that. That's what I'm like.
But see, they don't know.
I guess.
They don't know the information. This is how we can get the information. Okay, so people don't typically lose money on these stocks either. Like, even if it's not a home run hitter, like you're saying, you're not just gonna just lose all the money that you put in stock typically, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think, look, I've been doing it since 2017. So what's that? 8 years.
Yeah.
The biggest loss we've ever had, and this one was tough, was like 22%. The biggest loss we've ever had.
Oh, wow.
The vast majority of them are 5, 8, 10%. And the reason is, like, you just don't need to risk a lot of money. Like, again, it's not a guarantee, but I always look at it kind of like a heads you win, tails you don't lose, right? If you've got half the company's board and their executives all putting in tons of money in their company stock, their own money at market prices, like, you're just not going to do that when things are very bad, when your sales are bad, or you're going to report a terrible quarter, or you're going to report some loss. Like, you just don't do that. So it is possible they're buying as a coincidence. It is possible that they're betting on something that doesn't come through, but like, it generally, either it's a big move or it just kind of doesn't do anything. It is very, very rare that all these insiders be buying before some terrible piece of news that tanks the stock. I mean, you know, I can't predict the next COVID or you know, trade war or something like that. We use stop losses that'll like automatically sell if you go down 10 to 15%. So we don't take a lot of risk. But yeah, you're pretty much right. I mean, I'll never say they're all going to win. I'll never say it's going to be 100%. But like, when we're wrong, I mean, I'm looking at the portfolio right now. Like, the ones that are down 1.3%, 0.9%, and 3.0%. Like,
yeah,
you're not on the street with a cup in your hand because your $1,000 turned into $970, right?
Yeah.
So, and the winners obviously offset that in a big way.
Yeah, so that makes sense. It's low risk, but still a high chance of getting a big reward, because y'all had stocks that hit for 1,900%, and your biggest loss is only 22%. Like, if you just look at the numbers, like, that is pretty crazy to me.
Yeah, and when you get a couple of big ones, like, you know, every year we have a couple that do 300, 400, 500%, 1,000%, the 1,900% one, and like, even a couple of those a year, like, makes a big, you know, if you put $3-4 in a stock and it goes up 400%, and you turn, you know, $4 into 20 grand, like, you're not going to care when you lose $100 on one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's so. That's really the name of the game. When we're wrong, we want to lose small. We want to be invested at the right times, and we want to get exposed to these stocks that can make big, fast moves. And we're going to nail those gains down. We see them.
Man.
Well, this Thursday. I mean,
this Thursday, September 25th, 3 p.m. Eastern, guys. If you want access to this information, be there. We will be there as well. So,
awesome.
You know, we're going to be
Look
learning.
forward to it.
Yeah, and I'm excited for this, man. Well, Ross, man, thank you so much. Let's go make some money.
Hey, pleasure talking to you. Keep up the great work, guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, you have a good one.
You too.
Charlie Kirk.
If you knew him, you love him.
Charlie Kirk was an incredible man.
One of the strongest, bravest people that I know.
Charlie has the work ethic of no one I have ever met in my life. I don't think it can be understated, the impact that he had.
One of the greatest communicators of the generation.
He was more than just somebody who would comment on the news.
He genuinely respected and genuinely loved, in a Christian manner, the people on the other side of the table. He didn't hate anybody.
He would give the shirt off a back to help someone that was in need, regardless of their political stripe.
His ideas were about faith, family, freedom.
This young man with an idea that became a movement.
What he built is part of his legacy, but also part of that legacy, more importantly, is a husband and a father.
Irreplaceable. He was irreplaceable.
He's a one of one.
Right? Charlie Kirk was at the tip of the spear. Never flinched, never backed off. He wanted that back and forth, but not out of anger, not out of a place of he wanted to humiliate them or embarrass them or something like that, because he wanted to actually try to communicate with them.
He went into the belly of the beast, he went on these college campuses, and he evangelized.
This man who had a life force that was so much bigger than himself.
If everything completely goes away, how do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. The most important thing is my faith in my life.
I hope that the story of Turning Point USA, again, we started with no money, no connections, and no idea what I was doing, resonates with some of you.
Government sucks! It's a nonprofit called Turning Point USA.
To despair is a sin. And some people say, oh, Charlie, it's too hard. It's too overwhelming. It's too dark. Snap out of it. You still live in the greatest nation ever to exist in the history of the world. There is still so much to be hopeful and to be thankful for. And we have agency. The globalists are worried that you are waking up. They're worried that their fraud and their nonsense is finally being exposed, and you are at the central nerve of all of that. Ask God how to use you. Find a place to plug in. I am thankful for you. We had a vision because we love the country. Push yourself harder. Here I am. Lord, use me.
You guys might remember a year ago, I gave the whole speech of here I am, Lord, send me. And it was kind of this joke that we had as soon as I gave that message.
I remember him getting off stage and I say, honey, do you realize what you just did? He's like, yeah, I just spoke. And I was like, no. You said, here I am. That is a very powerful statement. And God's like, I see you. Charlie is so obedient to God, to the word of God. And it's been so humbling to witness the way that God has used him this year, because he made that declaration a year ago saying, here I am, I'm ready. Wherever you need me to be, Lord, I'll be, and I'm your servant. Just put me out there in the thick of it.
You see, they wanted us to be quiet and afraid and silent and subservient. They wanted us to cower into our corner. But the conservative movement has changed fundamentally. I hope you guys understand this. This is the greatest country ever to exist in the history of the world. And I can say, wow, there was a debate. Is God done with this country? And now I can say confidently, no. God is not done with America, and our best days are ahead.
My husband, Charlie, he wanted to save young men, just like the one who took his life. That young man, on the cross, our Savior said, Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. That young man, I forgive him. I forgive him because it was what Christ did and is what Charlie would do. The answer to hate is not hate. The answer we know from the gospel is love, and always love. Love for our enemies and love for those who persecute us.
Wow.
Man, dude.
Wow. She's definitely full of the Holy Spirit. That takes strength that a regular human couldn't have in that situation. Only the strength of Christ could give someone the ability to do that. Because if someone took like my loved one like that from me, it would take me a long time to be able to say that and do that. So this is a testament to the things that Charlie preached and the things that they truly believe. It says, you shall know them by their fruits. Well, here are the fruits right here.
Wow, man.
Yeah, she's strong. She just lost her husband and the father of her children. They're 2 young children. And she was in attendance when it happened. So the fact that she could get up there and say that is powerful.
All right, guys, we have a really cool opportunity for you coming up. This Thursday, September 25th, Ross Givens, who is the VP of Investment Management at JP Morgan Chase, is going to do a free webinar teaching how to trade stocks and follow the insiders. Ross's company has beat the market every single year, and they've even had some stock gains bigger than 1,900%. We've been following his stock trades for a while now, and we have all made a profit. So join us for this free webinar this Thursday, September 25th. Don't miss it, guys.
For some reason, liberals are still figuring out a way to flip this beautiful speech. All over Twitter, I was saying the only reason why she was able to forgive him is because he was white. White supremacy is so crazy because he literally killed your husband and you forgive him because he's white.
You can't like, there's nothing you can do when someone has that level of hate in their heart to say something like that, you know?
200,000 likes.
People are just where they are and it's evil.
I believe that the country does. Some people in the country want to come together, but some just truly don't.
Yeah.
And these people right here. I'm sorry, we got to call this shit out. This is crazy. People are really saying this and agreeing with this crap.
Yeah, they are. This is sad. This is very sad. But look, this what she said is just like the best example of Christ that one could give. In a moment of weakness like this, to say that and do that, like what % of the world would say that in this situation, you know?
It's just we got to like call out the real guys. And this event truly showed me the real. Like, I have not seen anybody harm anybody, anything be damaged. We literally see, I think it was over like 100,000 people in one place and nothing happened. That was a beautiful event. And then when I look back into 2020, guys, I didn't know it was $2 billion of property damage during Black Lives Matter.
They burned down buildings, bro.
I didn't know 25 people died.
I didn't know that either. I think that Black Lives Matter is an organization that fumes off of division, but they're wolf in sheep's clothing and saying that they're doing this for Black lives and this and that. But then they wanted all these things to happen. They wanted people to riot and do all this and be emotional so that they could get people on their side. But they really, like I always say, BLM did not care about Black lives. They only cared about more division and getting people on their side emotionally.
I mean, it's crazy, guys. If some people that were literally lifelong Democrats came to this event and was registered to vote Republican.
You know, it's interesting. A lot of people are saying that this is a rally, but I mean, it's a turning point event. Same way Charlie would have held it in his honor. They filled up an entire, who's State Farm Arena? Is that the basketball arena?
It's the Cardinals arena.
Oh, they filled up an entire football stadium full of people, and they held an event in the CEO of the company's honor. I don't really see the problem here.
What are they trying to say is the problem?
They're trying to say, oh, this isn't a memorial or a funeral service. This is a rally. Like, well, it's a turning point event. It's literally held the exact same format as any other turning point event.
People were protesting there. Who's truly divisive? You know?
This is truly showing it.
Charlie could have been the president one day.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's what this
they
quote
asked
said.
him, I remember I saw in the interview, they asked him would he want to be, and he said no. But hey, somebody commented this on our video. I've said it a few times now, but it was the best comment I've seen in a while. They did not kill Charlie Kirk. They made him immortal.
They did.
Yeah.
It's just the name is also crazy, like turning point. This right here is a big turning point.
It is a turning point.
It is. And they don't
Look
know
at that.
What they just woke up.
Packed.
For one man.
Packed.
That's an impact he had.
Yeah, man. What a legacy.
Man, the Asian community really supports Republicans, bro.
Why you say that?
The Asian guy that just came in the house not too long ago.
Yeah.
He said, man, they killed a good man.
He did.
If you look at the clips, you see a lot of Asians here.
Really?
Yeah, it's a ton of Asians.
Well, a lot of people like Filipinos and, people like that are going to be leaning right more because they see what it's like to, in America,
Some of them people that came from these Chinese and, China communist country, they know what actual communism is. So they appreciate the side that stands with freedom.
Ben Carlson, I think he was on a podcast when the news came out, and he shed a tear on the podcast.
For real?
Thank you. It's wonderful to see so many people out here for such a sad but also a wonderful purpose. You know, we at American Cornerstone Institute grieve with everyone as we think about the loss of our friend and partner, Charlie Kirk. But did you hear a political figure last week saying that Charlie Kirk was ignorant because he didn't have a college degree? I've seen him run circles around people with college degrees. You know, I wonder if that political figure realizes that most of learning in life comes outside of the classroom. And I am delighted to see the young people of our land merging with the older people like me and moving in the same direction and understanding that our nation was founded upon the kind of principles that allowed us to rise from nothing to the pinnacle of the world in record time. That was no accident. That was because of what we believed, including our Judeo-Christian beliefs, that our rights come from our Creator and not from government.
It's deep.
Now, for many decades, there have been people who are trying to fundamentally change who we are. And there was a man by the name of Cleon Skousen who wrote a book called The Naked Communist in the 50s. And he exposed the things that were being done by the Marxists to gain control of our country. Such things as gaining control of the public education system and the teacher unions so that you could infiltrate and indoctrinate our young people.
And what I said?
It was a radical leftist who said, give me your children to teach for 4 years, and the seed that I sow will never be uprooted. That's what's going on. They also had a goal of gaining control of the media and Hollywood so they could change the culture in America, making sexual perversion normal, natural, and healthy. And speaking of that, pushing God out of our society and changing the gospel to the social gospel. Have you noticed that a lot of preachers don't want to talk about what's in the Bible if it's counter to the social gospel?
Yes.
Well, I challenge the ministers out there to talk about what the Bible says and not what the leftists say.
That was a bar right there.
That's a bar. That's real.
That was a bar.
A lot of pastors, you know, they got these new age cultural pastors, these cultural Christians who I've seen blasphemy on TikTok from some of these pastors, bro. And as a Christian, it really makes me sick. Because if you're not preaching from the Bible, then that's blasphemy.
I don't know if y'all been seeing this guy.
I see him all the time.
But he noticed on ABC, for some reason, when they were praying, they cut it out. Yeah.
It's interesting. I think it's interesting. This is a Christian country. Like, we have to be honest. Like, it's in our Constitution. The people who find this country were Christian. And obviously, under our Christian belief, we believe in freedom of religion. But I think that when people try to twist and downplay the Bible and the gospel, I take issue with that.
That's a huge problem. That's the Ten Commandment of taking the Lord's name in vain. That's what that means, you know? And again, what does it say? One nation under God.
Hey,
indivisible.
But
that means we are not divided.
We heard it. We're here. We're queer. We're coming for your children.
And that's you what want me to vote for that because I'm black?
That's what they're doing.
Hell no.
Wow.
Was anybody else initially watching Charlie Kirk's memorial service on ABC, and they was just doing a whole bunch of talking, and I'm thinking it ain't started yet, you know what I mean? They just getting everything set up or whatever. And then I go to Charlie Kirk's YouTube channel, and they're in an entire praise and worship segment. Like, whole time it's going on. Like, whole time praise and worship is going on. Big old arena, everybody praising Jesus. But ABC ain't got it on at all. ABC is doing their own segment, talking about God knows what. Whole time they praising Jesus, and it makes sense, of course. Of course y'all weren't airing that. Of course. Praise and worship going on, exactly what Charlie Kirk wanted. 100,000 people coming together to celebrate Jesus. And of course, ABC is talking about everything else but what's going on. I had no idea it was on. I'm sitting there waiting. Somebody had to tell me, nah, bro, like a concert is going on right now. Like they praise and worship right now. That's crazy.
Yeah, that makes sense though.
That's insane.
I'm not surprised about that in the slightest, honestly. It's sad though.
Yeah, I didn't see this on no liberal media outlets, the praise and worship at all, guys. Didn't see it.
Not gonna show that, will they?
People were calling this one of the most powerful messages they heard in a long time, guys.
You know, and you know what's sad? I actually heard people on the right saying that, I heard women on the right saying that Erica Kirk was doing this for attention. I said, wow, bro, there's nothing you can do. They will, some people on either side, people in general will criticize every single thing you do. But I remember, Solomon said the wisest thing I've ever heard him say. And you know, Solomon was the wisest man in the Bible. And he said, if Jesus couldn't please these people, what makes you think that you can?
They crucified a perfect man.
Whew.
That's crazy.
Like, actually, you will drive yourself crazy living for the approval of man. We live for the approval of God.
To all the men watching around the world, accept Charlie's challenge and embrace true manhood. Be strong and courageous for your families. Love your wives and lead them. Love your children and protect them. Be the spiritual head of your home. But please be a leader worth following. Your wife is not your servant. Your wife is not your employee. Your wife is not your slave. She is your helper. You are not rivals. You are one flesh working together for the glory of God.
Man, amen.
You know, it's interesting. A lot of people try to downplay Erica Kirk and who she is, but people don't know that she's 5 years older than Charlie with 3 degrees and a PhD. What a winner. What a winner Charlie picked.
Yeah, I mean, I heard a lot of the speeches, guys, and she definitely had the best one. This right here blew my mind.
Literally. Do you see? The people on the left went down there. They fought for, they did so much for this dude on the left who literally...
Human trafficker.
There's evidence of it. We watched it's not like these are alleged things.
Domestic abuser.
He's been convicted of it. And we watched the police video of him getting pulled over with all the people in the van. And then they act like he's a hero. And then Charlie Kirk is a villain.
It's disgusting that they protect Kilmar. First of all, his name is Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Sorry. I hate to be that guy. Doesn't sound super American to me. Saw the video of him, could barely speak English. And they're protecting this guy like he's some citizen. Like he's what represents America. And we demonize Charlie Kirk, who is American, and fought to make America a better place. Had an organization, never broke any laws, never harmed anyone. It's insane.
Yeah. Sex trafficker, person you don't agree with, and you're gonna celebrate one over the other. That's just crazy to me, bro.
It's absurd. I hate to bring up his name, but we have to just keep it 100 here. Who you hear the names? Who you think's American and who's not? Let's just keep it 100.
But even besides that, just look at their character of the people who they were by the actions that they did on the earth. That's what they keep saying. I keep seeing people on the left saying, oh, well, if you didn't live good, then you shouldn't be celebrated in death, talking about Charlie. But then y'all will celebrate Kilmar when he was a sex trafficker. And I just don't understand that. Like, look at the type of person that Charlie really was.
He brought people together, man. It just gives chills in my body to know that he's 31. Imagine, how old is Jordan Peters?
He's like 70 probably.
Charlie is not even, he's double Charlie's age.
He's the same age as Stephon Diggs.
Like, bro, Charlie,
and
like,
he had a huge. He's the most impactful person there probably was on the right.
Yeah, man. Imagine
He's
he's
the
not
most
Kirk.
influential for sure.
For
Absolutely,
sure.
without a doubt.
Imagine him in 20 years, bro.
Bruh. He was.
That's what's crazy.
Like, I heard PBD said it. This is just gonna cause a bunch more Charlie Kirks to stand up now.
Wow.
That's what y'all did.
Turning Point just released the footage of Charlie pulling up to Utah right before the situation happened, man.
Dang.
It's crazy.
Wow, look at that. Beautiful. Look at that.
All right, 3, 2, 1, smile.
Shit's sad.
Awesome, guys.
Man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Utah Valley, how we doing?
Talk about influence, bro.
31.
He's walking up like he a rock star for real.
Wow.
Look at the division and hate.
That's a lot of people, Utah, I'll tell you what.
Wow. I can show you division and hate. Jasmine Crockett, she just spoke. And it's one of the craziest comments I've ever heard.
Oh, I'm about to get upset.
I mean, I don't even want to run this, guys, because
Jasmine Crockett, I find her so distasteful. As successful as she is, she comes and plays this ghetto persona on TV. She should really be speaking praises of what's possible. Like, look at her life.
But this is the reason why the poll numbers are the way they are, guys.
Let me ask you, because I do want to play a couple of statements that you made earlier this year. Okay.
Unfortunately, we have someone that is occupying the White House, and as far as I'm concerned, he is an enemy to the United States. They want to show that they are loyal to this, you know, I don't even know what to call him. I've called him so many things, but this wannabe Hitler for sure.
And to be clear, the president has attacked other people have attacked you in his orbit, maybe not him personally. But do you have a responsibility as an elected official not to raise the temperature, but rather lower the temperature, particularly when there are people out there who listen to elected officials all over the place who are not well, who use that as a way to instigate the political violence that you are calling out?
I think that my responsibility is to be transparent and to be honest. And the reality is that we are living in a time in which this administration and this regime is not interested in making sure that people understand history. We need to understand why they are so problematic. And so I am using that language because it is accurate language. When we see the consolidation of power, when we see them trying to chill speech of jokesters, when we're seeing all of this, that is a playbook out of Hitler, and I won't deny it. Like, these are the facts. So one of the things I do want to point out that's not been laid out that honestly hurts my heart is when I saw the no votes, there were only 2 Caucasians. For the most part, the only people that voted no were people of color, because the rhetoric that Charlie Kirk continuously put out there was rhetoric that specifically targeted people of color. And so it is unfortunate that even our colleagues could not see how harmful his rhetoric was, specifically to us. And you know what? One of the things.
What about your rhetoric that you just said about Trump being Hitler? Do you think that could possibly be dangerous?
No, it's not. That's transparent.
It's interesting. It's interesting.
That's
like
crazy,
what?
Man.
What? You see how she's not? You see how she's not playing her ghetto persona on TV?
Who's really divisive? Who is really divisive?
Well, she always comes on TV and talking about white people, this, and that, but people of color, oh, now it's a problem. Come on, bro.
And when Charlie Kirk spoke on those what he was saying was because he wanted better for the black community, just like we do.
No, don't say black people of color. That's what they want to say.
Man, forget that, man. Black people.
And these are the things that they said Charlie Kirk stood for. He was a man of faith. And the reason that struck me so is because I got a text from a friend who said, I am a black woman.
Here we go.
The person who babysits my child is a black woman from Jamaica.
Okay.
And she says Charlie Kirk was a person of faith.
She didn't tweet.
And I say to them, okay, so what does that mean, a person of faith?
Real quick.
How does a person...
Real quick, though. Did you catch that? From Jamaica. See, she's not indoctrinated by this black American toxic culture and making you feel like you're a victim and all the things that we get on here and talk about all the time. It's always the first generation immigrants that don't go for that.
I thought the babysitter was a Jamaican.
Yeah, that's what he said. And he's about to get on her for saying that he was a Christian. Talking about Charlie Kirk.
He says Charlie Kirk was a person of faith. And I say to them, okay, so what does that mean, a person of faith? How does a person of faith act? How does a person who really believes in what God and the scriptures say, the true meaning of it, not the distorted meaning, how would they treat the least of these? So what I say now is that what happened in Arizona this weekend was not just a memorial, it was something else entirely. People will tell you that it is about grief. It was about grief, about honoring a man's life, about faith. And on the surface, maybe it looked like that. Tens of thousands gathered. The music swelled. I'm sure some of you saw it. I just saw some of the sound bites. There were prayers and tears and moments of silence. But if you stayed long enough for the little bit that I could stay, and then I said, you know what, I'm out. If you listen long enough and close enough, if you stayed long enough and you listen close enough, you could feel the ground shifting beneath you, because that wasn't just about a man who died. This was about a movement claiming divine permission to rule.
All right, I've heard enough.
Can I get a witness?
I've heard enough.
Now, this guy fucking sucks.
This guy sucks. Why do we listen to this guy?
He lost his job.
What's morally right and wrong?
Nobody listens to him.
Morally right to play with your back door to me, but you want to talk to me. Shut up, dude.
We know what the word says about that. That's all I'll say on that. But we owe Don Lemon a thank you, y'all. Y'all remember that?
Because
y'all know why?
Vivek cooking him and getting him fired is what led us down this path.
Okay, that's what it was. That was a turning point, keyword, for us. We sat up here, we did a reaction, y'all, to Vivek Ramaswamy, my guy, on CNN versus Don Lemon. And he fried Don Lemon so bad, and he articulated so well that Don Lemon is now doing his own thing. He got fired. Vivek Ramaswamy got Don Lemon fired. And then it also sparked a movement in us that we were like, man, hold up. All that stuff that Don Lemon is talking about does not sound like the things that I align myself with. And that's when Vivek, and then we got to interview Vivek, and then we just go down this road. So if it wasn't for you, Don Lemon, and your idiotness, we would not be where we are today.
Might actually be a
so
fact.
Thank you, Don Lemon.
Because it's like,
thank you.
We don't agree with this gay ass dude right here. And it's like, we found out you had a white husband and you crying about white supremacy. So is it like,
and you lay with the white man all night?
Vivek was grilling him so bad. We were like, man, Vivek made us Republican that day. And then we got to meet Trump. We got to go meet Charlie. We got to interview Charlie. We get to go to the events. All of these things happened because of Don Lemon's stupidity and what Vivek did to him, y'all. That was a turning point for the Cartier family. Go back and watch the video if you want to see it.
All that crying about white supremacy. I wonder, do you and your white husband role play and he the slave master, you the slave?
Chill out on him. Chill.
And you got the chain on your neck.
Chill, bro.
You're wildin'.
Hey,
you wildin', bro.
You're wildin'.
I'm just saying, though. Getting hit from the back from the slave master.
All right. I don't want to put that image in my head.
We're not trying to be divisive like them.
I'm not trying to put that image in my head.
Now, this is the type of people that's talking shit about Charlie and his wife right now. Look at her, guys. I'm not even gonna click the video.
Aside from
just
that,
look at her.
If you're just
look at her.
What is divisive? What is truly divisive?
Yeah.
Let's stay on that right there.
A divisive
calling
figure.
her a terrible person.
So it's like,
who's divisive?
Is Jasmine divisive then?
Oh, I would say so.
I would 100% say so. I would 100% say so.
Like, who's really, I forgot what remember we reacted to that one video a long time ago, and it was like about the kids, and they were like, would your parents let you go to Biden supporters' house? And they were asking the kids who parents voted for Trump, and they were like, yeah, they'd let us go over there, and they asked the other kids, would your parents let you go to someone who voted for Trump's house? Oh, hell no. No. Who's really divisive? Remember the kids we reacted to just a couple days ago? They said, the best news ever. They said, oh, did Trump die? Did JD die? Y'all are teaching your kids to celebrate death and then calling the other side divisive.
Hold on. They was out there at 4 a.m.? Mm-hmm. Oh, no, this shit didn't got real, y'all.
I'm telling you, they made him immortal.
Wow.
They made Charlie immortal. No one will forget Charlie Kirk ever.
4 a.m., guys. If it's one guy I do hate the most on all social media, and I don't like using the word hate, it's this ugly ass nigga right here, guys. And I don't want to say the N-word right now, guys. I didn't want to do it. But this guy, his name was the Black Tucker Carlson at first. All he does is roast white people. And he changed his name to Black Charlie Kirk Jr. Nah, this dude right
Who's
here.
Divisive?
This
Who's
dude,
divisive?
exactly. These people out here, I don't know what the hell they doing actually.
It looks like a school student section.
But
that's not even nothing to do with Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, but like he told me, it's a sign to buy MOs and rifles.
This is a football game.
Bro, people actually are dumb, guys. And people actually support this guy. So it makes me, I'm just like, man,
who's divisive?
See where the real divisiveness is coming from.
Looks like they're pointing like that.
Could have been a first down.
Yeah, it looks like they're all doing like that.
You know how people take things out of context.
Yeah, look. They're pointing.
Yeah, these people are weird, bro.
Everybody's pointing. Look, their fingers are out. Yeah.
You see how they do? You see how they take things and they twist it?
They point at the scoreboard. Ha! They point at the scoreboard. Come on,
look, they're being Nazis.
Come on, I was like, hold on. I was like, there's no way they're saluting.
And that would have blew everywhere. Click the Grok thing about that, right down there. Someone did it already. So what did they?
The union.
What?
It's part of a common cheer choreography.
It's nothing to do with Nazis. You see how they do?
Looks like they're just pointing at the scoreboard. They have 42-14. I'm about to point at that scoreboard. But I'm playing on the team.
Well, guys, I mean, Elon Musk and Donald Trump had their differences, guys, and this situation even brought them together.
They came together for Charlie.
And Elon was like, man, we better come together or, it could get bad out here. Well, guys, yeah, this is a real turning point in America, guys. I mean, I hate it had to happen like this, but I mean, hey, it's definitely fun. The movement is fun to continue in a stronger way, guys. 100%.
It was a turning point.